though.
What's been different about this summer, I guess, maybe compared to other ones you've been a part of?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's just it was the leadership aspect. It's the trying to get everyone on the same page, same mission, really trying to build a football team and everything that entails. So I love each and every guy in the locker room, and I'm really excited for us to all come together and hopefully get some wins this fall.
I'm sure you'd be fired up about the next game or the opener, no matter who it was. But Big Ten West game right off the bat, week 0, national TV audience. Does that add a little spice to camp, I guess, knowing that's coming?
I mean, yeah, the football season just adds spice to camp in general. The fact that it's Illinois, they're returning the most super seniors in the country. They're going to be a tough matchup. You know, they're going to be ready, and so are we. So, you know, we're just going to do the best of our ability, really focus on our guys and what's going on inside our locker room, and let everything else take care of itself.
JoJo, with this being a veteran team, how do you expect the first day of fall camp to be different tomorrow as opposed to previous years?
Clear expectations, having a standard and knowing what's being asked of us, from the walk-ons to the young guys to the seniors. You know, we all have a role, and we all need to exceed in that role.
Does that mean higher intensity or maybe a less tolerance of mistakes? How would you define maybe what's ahead for you?
Yeah, I guess just clear intentions. Clear intentions.
Hey, JoJo, you guys were picked 5th in the West by the preseason media poll. Do you guys think about that? You talk about that. What was that that hit you?
It doesn't really hit me. It kind of goes right past me. I don't really have expectations of in the win column or lose column this year. The only thing I expect is for each and every man in our locker room to show up and give everything they have each and every day, and to match that. And when somebody doesn't have the energy that day, to look to their teammates and look to their brothers so that they can be picked up, and vice versa.
Some of the veterans on this team, especially on your side of the ball, what can you learn this next month? What are you looking forward to finding out with this team?
Yeah, just our niche, I'd say, where we excel. I mean, what coverages and what defensive schemes that we're particularly better at than others, and I guess really just pushing ourselves, like Ben Stilley pushing me, Deontay pushing me, Markel pushing me, and then me doing the same to them. Like, this isn't a time to be complacent, and that's not what we're looking to do.
How about you as a super senior? Are you taking as many reps as you always have? Do you try to scale it back a little bit for body maintenance, or how do you approach it?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I have to do what's being asked of me, and if that's too much or too little, just having an open conversation with my coaches and just there being clear communication across the board and kind of come to a mutual understanding, agreement.
I know it's been a while, but you were part of that 2016 team that won 9 games.
That's right.
Big senior class.
Yeah.
Big senior class that year. What do you remember about that group of players that got you guys where you wanted to go, and what can you take from that now that you're senior?
Yeah, those men expected to win. Those dudes were confident, and they practiced like it, and we played like it. There was no what-ifs. They were expecting to win every game, and the senior leadership is huge, and just kind of carrying and just creating that momentum for the rest of the team to follow suit. So, you know, it's a lot of responsibility, but this is the moment I've been waiting for, and we're ready for it.
What is a team that's really experienced in your defenses? What do you guys work on for a month before you play a game? Because I'm guessing you're hungry to just play the games, but you don't have them for a month. So what are you going to work on? How do you keep yourself engaged and interested?
Yeah, I mean, we got to go over every possible scenario versus every single defense. You know, where they give us troubles, really work on like the weaknesses within each defense and understand how we're going to play each and every one of those scenarios. So, I mean, there's millions of things we can work on. First and foremost, I'm starting with the fundamentals, just making sure I'm key stepping right, making sure I'm stepping into my tackle, tagging off on the hip, and then just building from there.
How much do takeaways get talked about? And I guess, how do you translate talk to making it happen? Where have you felt about where you guys have been as far as, you know, just turnovers, creating turnovers?
Yeah, I mean, that's the name of the game on the defensive side of the ball. So really just emphasizing it more in practice and you know, making it fun. When we're in practice, you know, emphasizing it and rewarding guys and getting on guys' hats when good things are going on, and that will just translate to the game. So we definitely need to force more turnovers, and it starts tomorrow. It starts tomorrow.
What have you seen so far? How does this team compare in the locker room culture-wise to that 2016 team that had all
You know, I'm not here to make any comparisons. I mean, we're going to find out during this fall. So really just leaning on my guys, being there and being accountable so they can lean on me, and honestly just praying for the best.
That second level, I mean, it was a tough break with what happened to Will in the spring, but the other guys in the middle there, Maravich and Reimer and Hendricks, what sort of your thoughts about where they're at and your excitement level to see what they do this camp? And
Super excited. I got a lot of faith in those guys. They work hard. They're good dudes. They're in the film room. They're gonna do what's asked of them and some. So really excited to see their development and really go to war with those guys.
JoJo, you play a couple teams right off the bat that have new coaches. How does that affect your defensive preparation? Maybe not knowing quite what you're going to get from a couple teams.
Yeah, we're going to find film on those guys regardless of where they came from, so I'm not really too worried about that. Kind of reiterate what I said earlier of just, focusing, keeping our energy in-house, not giving too much validation to what everybody else is doing, but looking to validate ourselves in the process of showing up every day, doing our best, and finding those extra ways to get better, doing what's asked of us, and then some.
There's been some of your teammates, I know in Indianapolis, had said that Illinois game right out of the gate is huge, being a West Division opponent. Is there a fine line there in putting too much into an opener, or is it that big that that's going to be the tone setter and that's it?
Yeah, I mean, it is a fine line, but I mean, you want to get excited for football games, but I think just operating under the assumption that it's a nameless, faceless opponent, works out more often than not. So, they're a great team. We're gonna respect them. We're gonna come in with respect, knowing what they do well, knowing where they could hurt us, and looking to match those areas.
You've got a strong foundation in the strategic communication / advertising world. How does that impact the lens through which you see NIL?
Yeah, I mean, we're all our own brands. We're all our own brands. We have to market ourselves, and we are the brand, we are the product. So that asks a lot of 18-year-old kids. That's asking a lot of those guys, and I really hope that as this thing grows and matures, that the NIL and the NCAA really just takes more steps into looking out for the players and making sure that we're in the best situation possible, and not just throwing money grabs at people and then leaving them on their own and expecting them to be responsible with money in their pocket.
What's your brand?
What's
your brand?
My brand?
Yeah.
My brand is me, leading with authenticity and vulnerability, just showing up every day, doing my best. We're all children of God. We all came from our Creator. So just owning that and stepping up to that plate, and that ultimately shows up in being there for the people in my life, being there for my teammates and holding space for them, holding energy for them. And that's what's so exciting about this season for me, is I really get to step up into this role that I always imagined myself being in, and just being a senior leader by default. But I don't want to just you can't just assign me to be a leader. Like, I want to earn that trust. I want to earn that respect, and that's what this fall camp for me is.
Other than guys that have gone pro, very few, if any, have played football as long as you and your class get to.
Mm-hmm.
For you, what's the fun part of football that makes you want to come back and keep playing?
Yeah. Well, first, it's like, it's who you're doing it with. It's the shared adversity with your teammates. Anybody who has played organized sports probably can relate to that. And then it's who you're playing for. It's all you guys being here right now, because you guys all care about Nebraska, and so do I, and so does everybody else in this building. So really just trying to represent the N well, and leave this place better than we found it in 2016.
Great, thanks, JoJo.